Hello students, so today I am going to discuss the topic named string functions used in MySQL in chapter number 5. Now first of all, what are the string functions? The string functions are those functions which are used to manipulate the values of the character data type. Now I have already explained you about the character data type in the class. There were two types of character data type used in MySQL. The first one was the char data type and the second one was the varchar data type. So what's the difference between the char data type and the varchar data type that is used in MySQL? So let's find it out from here. The char data type is used to store character string of fixed length. That means, let's say if you set a char 100 data type for the column patient name in the table patient, then its declaration would be exactly like this, where patient name will be the column name, char will be the data type, and 100 will be the fixed length size. And now if you try to insert this entry called Jasmine for this particular column called patient name, then for 6 characters in the entry Jasmine, it would take up 6 bytes of memory space. Now if you count the number of characters in Jasmine, it comes to 6, because J is the first character, A is the second, S is the third, M is the fourth, I is the fifth, and N is the 6th character. So in total, this entry Jasmine consists of 6 characters. So for 6 characters, it's going to take 6 bytes of memory space. But at the time of declaration of the column patient name, we have set 100 as the fixed length size, with char as the data type. So as 6 bytes of memory space will be consumed for Jasmine, then the remaining 94 bytes will be padded with extra blank spaces, because we have to utilize this full quota of 100 fixed length size. So if Jasmine would take 6 characters of memory space, okay, so if Jasmine, which consists of 6 characters, if it takes 6 bytes of memory space, then the remaining 94 blank spaces would take up 94 bytes of memory space. So now we have 6 plus 94 equal to 100 characters, where 6 characters are coming from the word Jasmine and 94 characters are coming from these 94 blank spaces. So in total, 100 characters is going to occupy 100 bytes of memory space. That means even if we have stored this entry called Jasmine for the column called patient name, which consists of only 6 characters in the entry Jasmine, we are wasting the memory space by padding 94 blank spaces at the end of the word Jasmine. So these extra 94 blank spaces is actually a wastage of memory, because we are utilizing only 6 characters in the entry called Jasmine. And this wastage of space is just due to the fact that we have declared the column patient name with the char data type, whose size, which is 100, is of fixed length. And if you use a fixed length data type like this, we have to use this full quota of 100, which is a fixed length size. And that's the disadvantage of the char data type, where we are actually wasting these extra 94 bytes by padding these extra 94 blank spaces. As a result, just to eliminate the wastage of such memory spaces, the varchar data type has been introduced, which is also used to store character string but not of fixed length. Okay, this varchar data type can be used to store character string of variable length. And since it can be used to store character string of variable length, we can overcome the problem of wasting this extra 94 memory space. That was for these extra 94 blank spaces which were padded at the end of the word called Jasmine. Now let's say if I set a varchar 100 data type instead of the char 100 data type for the column patient name, then I get to see the declaration of the column patient name like this. Okay, here patient name is the column name, varchar is the data type, and 100 is the variable length size. Note that when I use the char data type, then the size 100 denotes the fixed length size. But now as I use this varchar data type, then the size 100 will denote the variable length size. So now with the help of this varchar data type having 100 as the variable length size, if I try to insert this entry called Jasmine into our table called patient, then it's going to take up 6 bytes for the 6 characters in the entry called Jasmine. And after that, it's going to take only 2 additional bytes. So 6 bytes will be for the entry called Jasmine, which is having 6 characters, and then it's going to take 2 additional bytes, and that gives a total of 8 bytes in total. So instead of taking 100 bytes of memory space as in here for storing 6 characters in the entry Jasmine and the extra 94 blank spaces, it's going to take out only 8 bytes of memory space, where 6 bytes are coming from the entry Jasmine and then 2 additional bytes, that is extra. So that is an advantage for us, isn't it? Because now instead of wasting 100 bytes of memory space while using the char data type, we are wasting only 8 bytes of memory space using the varchar data type. And that is the advantage of using the varchar data type over the char data type. Now let's come back to the topic called string functions. These are the list of string functions used in MySQL. It starts with lcase, ucase, substring, INSTR, lpad, rpad, concat, and length. You can also use the function lower instead of lcase, and you can also use the function upper instead of ucase, because lcase and lower and then ucase and upper are synonymous. That means they serve the same purpose. The lcase or the lower function shall convert a string into the lowercase. So what do you mean by lowercase? Lowercase means the small letter format. Then the ucase or the upper function shall convert a string into the uppercase. So what do you mean by uppercase? Uppercase here means the capital letter format. Now consider this table identified by the name student. This table has 3 columns, namely SID, SNAME, and SCT, and these are the entries corresponding to these columns. Okay, here the first column SID is the primary key, because if you look at each of these entries for the column SID, they are distinct. There is no repetition. If you see here, the entry S10 is occurring only once, S20 is also occurring only once. Same is the case with the entries S30, S40 and S50. They are occurring only once. So we can say that all these entries are distinct or unique for this column named SID, and it's this reason that this column SID can be considered as a primary key column. And now since it's a primary key column, it can uniquely identify every record in this table student. This table has 5 such records. Okay, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, this is the fourth one, and this is the fifth one. So all of these 5 records can be uniquely identified by this primary key column known as SID. Now read this question. It says, write a query in MySQL to display the names of students in lowercase and uppercase format. Now see this text, names of students. Now here the names of students is represented by the column S name of the table student. And if I have to display the names of students in lowercase, okay, that means in small letter format, and in uppercase, that means in capital letter format, then I have to apply the lower function on this column S name for converting all its entries into the lowercase or in small letter format. And then again I have to apply the upper function on this column S name for converting all its entries into the uppercase format or in the capital letter format. Now see, if I put this command, that is select lower of S name, upper of S name from the table student, then lower of S name is going to display all its entries in small letter format. So when I apply the lower function on the column S name, all the entries for the column S name which were initially in the uppercase format or in the capital letter format has been converted into the lowercase format or in small letter format like this. And when I applied the upper function on the column S name, then initially the column S name, which already consisted of capital letters or uppercase letters, will also consist of uppercase letters or capital letters in the output, because the upper function is going to convert all the entries for this column S name into the capital letter format. Okay, now since already its entries are in capital letter format, so again if we try to convert these entries into the capital letter format, in the output we are going to see all the entries again in the capital letter format. Now read the next question. It says, write a query to demonstrate the substring string handling function. Now look over here. The substring function actually returns part of a string. Now look at this query. Okay, it starts with the select command and then the function substring to be applied on the column S name. Okay, here see the first digit 1. Okay, 1 here denotes the position of the letter from where to start, and the second digit 3 here represents the number of characters to be extracted, including the letter or the character at the position 1. Now look at the first entry arpita for the column S name. If the position of the first letter is 1, then it will be A here in the entry arpita, because at the position 1 or the first position we have the letter A. And again, since I have to extract 3 characters or 3 letters in total, so including this letter A, I am going to extract 3 characters in total or 3 letters in total. This gives ARP. Okay, so ARP is the part of the string arpita, okay, which we are extracting and displaying it in the output under the column substring of sname 1, 3. In the same way, for the entry to SAR of the column sname, as the position of the first letter is 1, that is T in the first position, and again since we have to extract 3 characters in total, so including the letter T, I am extracting 2 more letters U and S, and this gives TUS, which is the part of the string to SAR, and then the part of the string which is TUS shall be displayed in the output under this column, that is substring of sname 1, 3. In the same way, let's check for this 4th entry Hansika. Okay, since 1 is the starting position, so at the position 1 we have the letter H, and since we have to extract 3 characters in total including the letter H, so we have to extract the part HAN from Hansika, okay, and then display it in the output column like this. Okay, and same is the case for the entries Astik and Anumita. Okay, for the entry Astik we have AAS, and for the entry Anumita we have ANU. Now see the next column to be displayed in the output table. Okay, it's separated by a comma. Okay, this is the next column to be displayed in the output table. Okay, and it's this one. If you see here, okay, the substring function shall be applied on the column sname, okay, that is this particular column, and now we have the initial position which is 4, but how many characters to extract has not been mentioned, because here we do not have the second digit. Since how many characters to extract has not been mentioned, so we have to extract all the characters till the end. Now if 4 is the starting position, then for the entry arpita, which is the letter at the position 4, okay, A is the first position, R is the second position, P is the third position, and I is the letter at the 4th position. Okay, now starting with the letter at the 4th position, which is I am going to extract all the letters till the end. Okay, so I am going to extract T as well as A, okay, where A is the last character, and that shows ITA as the first entry for the column substring of sname, 4. Now look at the second entry called Tushar, okay, which is the letter at the position 4. Okay, if you see, the letter at the position 4 is H. Okay, now if I have to extract all the characters till the end starting from the letter H, I have to extract A as well as R. Okay, this gives R as the part of the entry, okay, to be displayed under the output column substring sname, 4. Okay, now same is the case with each of these entries, that is Astik, Hansika and Anumita. We are first extracting the letter at the position 4, okay, and then the remaining letters till the end, and that gives TIK from Astik, SIKA from Hansika and MITA from Anumita. Now read the third question. It says, write a query to demonstrate the INSTR string handling function. Now look at this INSTR function. Its purpose is to return the position of a given character in a string. So if I write the query like this, select sname, INSTR function to be applied on the column sname, okay, comma, the letter A, whose position I am going to find out, okay, from the table student. In this case, I am going to see 2 columns in the output table, one for sname and the other for the INSTR function to be applied on the column S name, okay, to find out the position of the letter A. The INSTR function is going to find out the position of the letter A in the entry arpita. Okay, now in the entry arpita, the position of the letter A is 1 because A is the first letter here. That's why we see 1 against the INSTR function in the output column for the entry arpita. Then see the next entry to SUBSTR. Okay, what is the position of the letter A in the entry to SUBSTR if I apply this INSTR function on this column S name? The position of the letter A into SUBSTR is 5 because the position of the letter T is 1, for U it's 2, for S is 3, for H it's 4, and for A it's 5. Okay, so we are going to see 5 as the value printed under the INSTR function in the output. Then look at the entry Hansika. What is the position of the letter A in this entry Hansika? Okay, if you look here, the letter A is at position number 2. That's why I see the entry 2 under the output column, that is INSTR function applied in the column S name against the entry Hansika for the column S name. So that's the end of my first presentation today.